Hey everyone, it's Andre Luck here for my video this week where I'm going to talk through leveraging technology in the sales process. So I've laid out three problems that B2B sports teams face and how we can overcome those. The fourth one here today is how technology can help increase efficiency and take away some of the administrative tasks that sports teams go through, and especially on the B2B side for sales. So sports teams, we're pretty archaic. We're a little old school. It takes us a little while to adopt new technology. So for me, this was something I was always excited about. I can always see this as an advantage for us as a sales team and an organization, in that if we could get out in front of technology and do things that maybe some of the more progressive companies are doing outside of sports, we could really increase and improve our efficiencies and see some true business results. So the problem that persists is, one, yes, the old school mindset, but then also there's a lot of manual processes. It's very inefficient at times, whether it's how we go about our go-to-market strategy. Inputting data takes a lot of clicks to input things. Sometimes we keep things on a manual spreadsheet, and we do a lot of manual tasks and things like that that are repetitive that could be automated. So there's just a number of opportunities for sports teams to just improve, work more efficiently, and leverage technology to help solve some of those challenges and problems. But the bigger problem is because, one, I said we're a little old school in our philosophy, but also we're just strapped with resources so thin within sports that budgets, a lot of money goes to the team side versus the business side. And then the knowledge and internal know-how on how to leverage these technologies, it just isn't there because we've never really touched them before. So a lot of times you purchase them, they don't get implemented properly, they don't get used to their full potential. So it's just a big problem that persists for teams, and there's a big opportunity to use technology to add fuel to the fire to increase what's already working really well from a manual standpoint. And then you see your returns, really start to quantify and increase significantly, because now your sales team's working more efficiently. It's taking them less clicks to do things within the platforms. They're getting served warmer leads, or being able to find people more quickly and efficiently by leveraging different tools and technology. So I'll transition here to talk about the solution. So for me, my ideal tech stack, if I'm running a sales team, obviously the first one is going to be your CRM system. So from a CRM perspective, that's the single source of truth where all the data should be coming from your ticketing system. It should be coming from the input that your reps are doing. If you have good technology, it automates some of that. So if they're on a meeting, maybe it automatically populates the notes into CRM so they don't have to then repeat the work again. It's where the forecasting and reporting should all live. So it's great that if you have a system, but like leveraging all of the insights and the features and the benefits, and having someone running your CRM system that knows how to do that and can coach all the other people in the business side on how to best leverage it and use it to your advantage. The next thing I have is a sales enablement platform. So there's a couple out there. There's Outreach, there's SalesLoft, there's even like other systems like a ZoomInfo or Apollo. They have their own sales enablement platform. And what that allows you to do is build out what we call sequences. And when you have this sequence, it automatically tells you what the different tasks are when you come in each day. So let's say I'm putting a prospect into a 10 touch point sequence. On day one, I want to send a LinkedIn connection request. It tells me that when I log into my system. Day two, I want to send an email, and then also have a follow-up phone call after that. So I can already have an email populated. I can make sure that it's, all the verbiage is right, and I'm not sending something that sounds template. I could add my own personal touch to it. I click send, it goes. Or you could automatically send it. So, at a certain time each day, it just goes out. And then you look and see, all right, what's touch point 3? It's a phone call. Right now, a lot of people, they have like a piece of paper, or they just kind of wing it and just go on with like, all right, here's how I'm going to go through my touch points. Like this lays it out for you, increases efficiency, allows you to get more done in each day. So now you're reaching out to more people with more personalized messages and getting more results from that. My favorite is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's great because it leverages the power and all the insights from LinkedIn and gives you advanced filtering options. So you could see who's not connected to you, but maybe connected to one of your clients or one of your coworkers, and make introductions that way. You can see who's clicking on your profile. You can see who follows your company's page. And you can really filter in and find these specifics about your ideal customer profile and the type of person you're looking to prospect and sell, and then also be more relevant with your messaging because now you can find insights and information and keep up to date on everything that's happening with your accounts, your prospects, your clients, everything like that. What pairs up well with LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a database platform. So think like a Zoom Info, Sales Intel, Apollo. It has these platforms where people's information from a business standpoint is automatically put into these platforms. So you can look up someone's phone number, you can look up someone's email address. So yes, LinkedIn Sales Navigator can tell you that this person works here and here's their title, but it doesn't always give contact information for you to do outreach. So that's one that's big as well. Then also having like a texting platform, somewhere where it can capture chats on your page if that's part of your business and your business model. One that's really big within sports right now is automated email. So maybe some of your lower tier accounts that are likely to purchase that maybe you don't want to have your sales team do outreach, or maybe on the flip side, you want to give your best leads to this and get the hand raisers to raise their hand. You can do that through an automated email cadence, and no one really has to touch it. You set it, and then every couple days, these emails go out on the sequence that you build out, and then you get people coming to you that didn't take a manual person having to go through and send the email and make the phone calls to find people that are interested, or whatever your call to action is there. And then lastly, one that's really big that I've started working with teams on is a pixel, where you can identify the actual person from a company that's on your page if the cookies, track that person. So it could say Andre Luck from Four Leaf Marketing Consulting. He's the co-founder. Here's his email address. Here's his LinkedIn profile. And then if whatever company has that pixel on their website, they get pinged with a note through Slack that says I was on their page, and they can put me into a follow-up cadence, and those turned into warmer leads too. So just looking at all the things that we do to drive leads and prospect, like those are the key ones that I'd make sure I'd have. But then on top of that, other solutions and other opportunities from a technology standpoint is, how do you distribute your leads? If someone raises their hand or if someone comes inbound, speed is important. So you need to make sure that you're getting that to a salesperson as quickly as possible. So setting up automated email triggers that when a lead comes in, at round robin goes to my staff immediately. Because if you wait, and I shared this example earlier last week on LinkedIn, and I'll touch on this here in a second. If you wait and let that lead go cold, they may go somewhere else. So when leads come in, that's one thing that you could automate and leverage technology to best get that in. The other part that's changing in all of buying, but specifically in B2B buying, is more people are comfortable purchasing without talking to a salesperson. So, and back in the day when I started, actually today is my 17-year anniversary of starting in inside sales. They had to talk to us. We didn't have an option where people could purchase our product, maybe individual game tickets, but like suites, season tickets, groups, like that just more recently started being put online. But if people know what they want, they don't always have to want to wait to talk to somebody to process their transaction. They want to go, they have other things in their business. Businesses are moving quickly. Like they want to make sure that they get in touch with someone as quickly as possible. So now there's vendors who are working with sports teams to provide online sales options for group hospitality spaces, for group ticket packages, for suites, where if somebody, a CEO or president or executive assistant's like, hey, we're ready to buy a suite, we want to do an outing at a game, they can just go online and do it. They don't have to email, wait for someone to get back to them, and then transact. And the scenario I put it on LinkedIn is like, imagine it's 6:30 or 6 o'clock and the office is shut down for your organization or your sports team, but someone's ready to buy. So if they go online and they want to purchase, they can't. So they have to submit a form. That form, hopefully, if you have a quick process, gets to a salesperson by first thing in the morning. Some people are working maybe after hours, depends on the company culture. But let's say best case scenario, 9 a.m. the next day, the person gets the email, comes in, looks it up, puts all the data and information in CRM and does the outreach. That's 15 hours later. A lot could have changed. Maybe they decide to go with another vendor. Maybe they talk to other people or whatever it may be. Like you want to capture that right there in real time. And so the argument is, well, I could upsell them if they talk to us, or I could provide better service. I'll take my chances that they know what they want, they purchase it, and then I trust my salespeople on the backside to quantify that and then upsell, add on, tell them, hey, here's what you missed out on, or here's some other things that maybe we don't put online but allow you to purchase that I could add on to add more value, and understand really why they're looking to purchase to fully provide value for the customer but maximize the sale on our end. But I've seen so many times how that just gets people further down the process, because now they can look at the different options, see the games. The big thing people want to know is pricing, so that's a good way to help them get to pricing. And then when they reach out and speak to your salesperson, like, hey, I was on your website, I didn't purchase, now they're getting warmer leads. The other argument is, well, if that lead would have come to me as a salesperson, I would have gotten the sale and gotten commission, but now we're just allowing them to buy online. Too bad. From a business standpoint, it's just more efficient and it's better for the business. But let's say, we are thinking about, what the salesperson feels like. Now you have more people that have come, and now there's more accounts you can manage because we're selling more. We're not just selling the people who would have bought. Those people are buying on their own, and now you're going out and getting incremental business. As a whole, that's helping us. And now you have a bigger book of business that you could develop and cultivate and grow and cross sell. So it's a win-win all across the board, from the client experience to the organization. So that's a big one too, from a solution standpoint, on how technology can help improve your sales efforts and help you work more efficient. So really the big benefits, and I've touched on a lot of these, is it helps increase efficiency in production. So at the executive level, and every team I've talked to, they're all going through the same challenge in some way, is they're expected to go up, but maybe they don't have the strategy or the demand or the sales team efforts to go get those numbers. So they're kind of like, all right, well, I'm expected to grow 20%, 30%, X amount year over year, but I don't know where that's going to come from. And a lot of people are looking to trim budgets and spend less, but go up more. So the old adage of doing more with less, like that is what I feel from pretty much every sports sales leader that I speak with. So here's a way you can offset that and supplement with technology. What are those things throughout the day that just drive your sales team nuts? What are those things that are just menial tasks, that are just repetitive, that if you could take technology and offset it with that and allow them to focus on the higher return things, you're going to see more production at the end of the year. So taking that off their plate, taking those manual tasks off their plate, giving it to technology, investing a little bit of dollars there, but you expect to make that back in other parts of your business, that's a big one. Higher personalization at scale, that's a big benefit that comes from this, because now, going back to my example with like LinkedIn and doing more research and doing that more efficiently, now I could pull out specific things about someone's job title. One big one I didn't talk about is using ChatGPT. If I'm reaching out to a VP of sales and manufacturing, I can type in a ChatGPT and say, what are the challenges this person faced in their industry and their job title? And how can my team's tickets help solve that problem? Now, when I do my email outreach or I build out my sequences, I can be more personalized and say, I know that people like you go through these challenges, and here's how we've been able to help them. So it allows you to be more personalized and have more quality, and also increase the quantity, but do more quality at scale. It's a better buyer experience because you're streamlining them through the process, whether it's the buying process or it's just customer service issues. Sometimes like service staffs are understaffed, as most staffs are within sports. So if you have to reach out because you have an issue or a problem or a challenge, along with the other responsibilities that that person has, they prioritize you to reach back out. Could you offset that with technology, whether it's an FAQ sheet or a chat bot that can funnel some of those, just basic requests? And then if it really needs to be escalated, then you bring in a human person. So it's a better buying experience. And then from a business standpoint, you can work a little more lean. You could trim down your staff a little bit, take some savings there, reinvest those savings maybe back into marketing and driving demand for your product and getting the brand out there and quantifying that different ways, where maybe that's inefficiently being used right now on the sales side. Maybe you have salespeople that are reaching out to people that aren't necessarily going to buy. There's not enough demand for the number of salespeople that you have. Like really doing an assessment of that and offsetting maybe human capital and repositioning them in other areas, or reinvesting those dollars other places just to work more efficiently and smarter as a business. So the big thing you have to consider is, are you at the point where you have the internal champions who can take this on and really take it to the finish line? Because I've seen so many times, and I've fallen victim to this as well, even recently in things that I had purchased, that I didn't implement it properly. I didn't bring in the IT team. I didn't bring in technology. I didn't talk to the strategy and business analytics team on how it's going to see itself through. So if you're a sales leader looking at sales technology, bring everybody in. Make sure your executives and your CFO knows exactly what this is for, so you can justify the ROI and the expense, but then you have the right people looking to implement it and you see success on the back end. The other thing is, choosing the right tool, because a lot of people want to get the next new shiny thing. This team got this, the Yankees bought this tool, or the Warriors bought this tool, so we need to have it too. But it was probably a good fit for their situation. So make sure you're evaluating, make sure you're assessing. A lot of teams require 3 quotes before you select a vendor. That's good from like making sure you get the right price. But I'd say for me, just making sure you're fully evaluating, vetting out all the potential vendors and who's going to make the most sense for you. But then also, it's not a set it and forget it thing. You can't just leave it and then, all right, we installed the technology, now we're good to go. Like, you always have to have someone who's got eyes on it, someone who's owning that project and making sure you're getting the full maximization and utilization out of it and fully optimizing it. So we'll wrap up there. Final thoughts. Again, technology isn't going to solve all of your problems, but it can really boost your efficiency if you have a strong process and you're getting the right tools and everything like that. Don't jump at the next shiny thing you see out there. Make sure it's a fit for you and your situation. If you're not at the point where you can invest in technology, improve your processes internally, and then find maybe 1 or 2 things you could look to streamline or automate through technology. And it's that one thing that could take you from being a good organization to great. And one thing that we're really focusing on after we lay that initial foundation of sales training is documenting the processes, getting the forecasting right, and technology can help with that. But then also making sure you have the right tech stack and you're fully optimizing it and excelling and building a sales culture of excellence. So tying all these things together for this B2B sales transformation that exists. So next week I'll talk about, the 5th problem, which is, all right, teams bring in people to help with these and agencies to help with this, but it's not reinforced, whether it's the technology or the training. So how do you make sure that all this sticks and you're getting the impact that you paid for and the ROI that you paid for by working with someone? So appreciate it as always. Love to hear feedback, but I'll be back again next week with another video. See you all.